Hey, this is Nathan, and we're going to talk about the history of the Matterhorn Bobsled. Now, this is actually one of the most oldest rides ever to exist in Disneyland. But many people presume that this ride actually started from the humble beginnings of Disneyland. But unfortunately, no. During the humble beginning, Disneyland only had some few carnival rides, exhibitions, restaurants, and recreational areas for the people. But it didn't really have that uniqueness, as I would call, that actually made this park stand above the competition. The reason why? There was no competition. When Disneyland first opened, it was actually the first of its kind, because it was the first theme park to ever be made. Although this theme park had such a huge success, Disney knew he could do better though. And he did. After filming his famous movie The Third Man on the Mountain, Walt Disney soon got his inspiration for his new ride, after falling in love with the Swiss Alps, in particular the Matterhorn Mountain. And after coming back from his trip, he told his Imagineers instead of building the Candyland Mountain, which they hadn't planned, they will build the Matterhorn Mountain instead. But the idea of the Matterhorn Bobsled didn't catch on to Disney until later on. In the beginning, Disney actually thought of the Matterhorn Mountain to be a central hub or station for his new attraction called the Skyway to lift and drop people off there. Even though the idea of the Matterhorn Bobsled soon catched on to Disney, and soon thinking of the idea, he soon went to his Imagineers to think of this new ride. But they both knew this ride couldn't just be any ordinary ride. It needed to be a top innovation ride of its time. After a few weeks of planning, Disney and his Imagineers soon came up with an intelligent coaster design for the Matterhorn Bobsled. Instead of having one track run, they decided to add 2 tracks, resulting in a more shorter line wait. And to make the ride safe, Walt Disney Imagineers also put in tubular tracks to make sure the ride was also safe. This also became one of the first tubular roller coasters ever to be made too. But that wasn't the only thing the Imagineers thought of back then. Instead of stopping there, they decided to add this guy in. Yep, the famous Abominable Snowman. Now this guy actually was thought of Walt Disney Imagineers as a little scare factor in this ride, adding a little spice to it. Even though the Abominable Snowman was a great idea, Disney and his Imagineers soon thought of one last thing to put into the Matterhorn Mountain. Since only 2/3 of the mountain was occupied, 1/3, which was the tip, was actually empty. And Walt Disney and his Imagineers soon thought to make that area a recreational place for the Matterhorn climbers, who usually climb the Matterhorn once every month. And after all that planning, the Matterhorn Bobsled soon opened in June 14th, 1959. After the opening, this skyrocketed Disney's visitor rates. But there was a problem. The Matterhorn Mountain was too big, and visitors from Main Street, USA could easily see the Matterhorn Mountain's tip. But Disney didn't do anything about it. He just took it as a joke and just left the Matterhorn Mountain as it was. And after the opening of this ride, Matterhorn Mountain became one of the most famous rides ever to belong to Disney, and one of the most iconic images ever to be made. But even though time has passed on, Disney's Matterhorn Bobsled still remained as one of the most famous rides in Disney. Well, that's all I have to say about the Matterhorn's history. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Till next time, see you later.